adding and subtracting fractions. I just subtracting fractions that have like denominators, so the same number on the bottom. So in order to add and subtract fractions, you have to have that like denominator. So all of these have a common denominator, so it's quite simple. Your answer is just going to have that same denominator on the bottom. We don't have to add them, do anything. We're just going to know that our answer on the denominator is going to be 5. And then we're going to do whatever operation it is, we're going to do that to the tops, or the numerators. So 2 plus 1 gives us 3. And then this is so important. You have to remember to simplify always, always at the end. So is there anything I can divide by 3 and 5? There's not, so that's our final answer. Okay, let's skip this one for now and move on to this last one. If you have mixed numbers, you have to remember to change those, convert those before you can start adding. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 gives us 7 over 5. And then I'm just going to bring down this second fraction. They have like denominators, so I know I'm going to keep that denominator the same on the bottom, and I'm going to add the tops. So 7 plus 4 would give us 11. And I'm going to look and see if I can simplify. You could turn it into a mixed number, but you do not have to. I would accept it as an improper fraction. So that's adding with like denominators, not too difficult. And then let's move on to a little bit more involved is these unlike fractions. So unlike means they have different denominators. I cannot just add the tops here because they're not alike. So in order to do that, you're going to find the common multiple, which is a little different than what we've been doing to simplify. So multiples mean 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 4, 8, 12. So you're listing out the multiples of that denominator that you have. So I would know that the biggest number, biggest multiple of both of these fractions is going to be 4. Okay, so like I was doing 2, 4, 6. Okay, right away you should see, okay, they're going to have a 4 in common. So 4 is our bottom number. So once you find that, you're going to have to make sure that they're equivalent. So 4 doesn't change. I'm going to do this one first. So 1 is going to stay on the top. Okay. And then over here, 2 changes to 4. So how does that happen? What am I going to multiply by 2 to get 4? Well, 2 times 2 gives us 4. So 2 times 1 gives us 2. So 1/2 and 2/4 are the same number, but now I have common denominators that I can add up. So I'm going to keep that denominator the same. But now my top number, if I add them up, is going to give me 3/4. All right, let's try one more. Let's go to number 3. So right away you should notice that you've got some funky subtraction going on here. So if you can remember back from our integer operations, right away you should add the opposite. So this is really just an addition problem. So let's look for that common denominator. If you need to, list out those multiples like we did before. Start with the smaller number. So 4, 8, 12. So right away you should see, okay, they have an 8 in common. So that's what I'm going to list my fractions with, that common denominator of 8. And this is just an addition problem, as we found out. So this one here doesn't change, so I can just leave 7 over 8. Oops, sorry. So we have 7 over 8. And this is the fraction that is going to need to change a little bit. So what do you have to multiply by 4 to get to 8? 4 times 2 will give us 8. So we're going to do that same thing on the top, and our new top number is going to be 2. So now we can keep that same denominator, and we're going to add the tops and get 9. See if you can simplify, but leaving it as an improper fraction is totally fine. If you need more help with this section, I know this is a little bit complicated, you're going to come see me if you need some extra practice with this. All right.